Terrafugia's mission at a very high level is to make personal flight practical for everyone. At a very high level, somewhere between 2 to 4% of the global GDP is lost due to traffic congestion. The idea of a flying car has been around for a very long time. Everybody has heard about it, everybody's made jokes about it, that sort of thing, but this pain is actually very real and hits many countries right in the pocketbook. We have this tremendous infrastructure in the United States of over 5,200 public use airports, on average one within a half-hour drive of wherever you are in the country. And most people, frankly, don't even know that they exist unless you happen to be a pilot or involved in the industry in one way or another. It's one of the first questions that I always get is, can I just take off and land from the street near my house? No, you go to one of these places, but they're all over the place. In order to make flying a bigger part of everyone's life, we need to make it actually safer than driving. We looked at what are the biggest causes of fatal accidents in general aviation today. Really, the biggest one by far is loss of control, then controlled flight into terrain, then you get into component failure, power plant, engine failure, that sort of thing, and low altitude operations, et cetera, et cetera. But just tackling these first few issues here in a meaningful way, you have the potential of improving the level of safety by about an order of magnitude. What could we do with non-deterministic systems? We could do things like flight planning, automatic flight planning that would account for weather, right? Weather is next to impossible to you can't make a deterministic system that accounts for every possible weather situation, right? It's just won't happen, but if you had machine learning algorithms, just as pilots know, well, I know that fog is likely to come in at this time of day in this environment, so I'm probably not going to plan on landing at that airport, even if it's okay when I take off, right? Pilots know that. A machine learning system could learn that. But today, if you just had a deterministic system that just looked at the weather conditions right when you departed, it would not be smart enough. You would have to divert later on, which reduces the number of options that you've got. So there is definitely a lot of room for some of these more advanced technologies like machine learning to have a positive impact on aviation. And that's before you even get to what people are contemplating with full autonomy. This is just helping pilots plan safer flights and execute safer flights. There are some huge barriers to achieving urban electric vertical takeoff and landing air taxi concept. First of all, to my knowledge, there have been no electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that have been certified yet by the FAA. We are in the process of writing standards, industry standards for the certification of things like the electric motors for aviation applications. More than that, you're highly constrained on vertiports, where you can take off and land, and that's driven by noise and people who don't want small aircraft flying over their backyard or flying over their house. So this is a huge, huge issue in terms of being a potential market limiter. And I think what needs to be shown is that not only are these things incredibly safe and reliable, order of magnitude beyond where GA is today, but very, very low noise impact. The other big one is how to deal with air traffic control in densely populated urban areas. You've got a lot of Bravo airspace around major metropolitan centers, right? You're required to be in voice communication with ATC. That is not scalable to the level of operations that the market would demand at these price points. So this is a huge area of concern for a lot of us in this space. How are we actually going to do this? The potential market is truly huge, and the potential benefit from enabling that market in terms of global GDP, I mean, this is the kind of thing that could actually change things by a percentage point like that, and that kind of thing is very, very exciting.